Yo, what's happening, people? This is the very first video in a brand new series that I'm doing that I'm calling Breaking It Down. In this series, I'm going to be taking a variety of different clips and diving into every decision-making process and sort of like the general mindset that I have while I'm playing. A couple of you guys have requested I do this, so I'm happy to bring it to you. If you have other suggestions, please let me know. The support so far has been unbelievable. I really appreciate it. If you are able to subscribe, comment, like, it makes all the difference. I want to take this content creation as far as I can, but let me not hold you up any longer. Let's rock and roll, baby. So first, I'm going to go ahead and play the clip all the way through from start to finish without any kind of commentary. If you'd like to skip to where I'm actually breaking it down, feel free to do so. Question is, do they go over here? Are they Chads? They are Chads. I'm gonna slow play this. I'm gonna let them fight. Have a dark corner to play out of. If I just push that right now, giving up my advantage. Shot him. Shot him. Yeah, we just gotta kill this last guy. He's gonna die to the Marauder, I think. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's one way. Glad I just gave it that extra second to kind of see how it was going to play out. I just got to take out the champion. Call him a Marauder, but let's go with the champions. In fact, they are. I heard the buffing and I just don't want to deal with it. I'm gonna go around. I've killed a lot of people in there. I'd like to get the loot, but I'm not gonna force it. If I can't get it, I can't get it. Time is running out, boy. Gotta get out of here. I'm good. Oh man, that was a crazy raid. That one was kind of intense. Had some pretty cool close moments. So there's the clip at normal speed, and now let's break this thing down. That's the other map. This map doesn't have money room. It has this circle connector thing. Someone's been through here. Question is, did they go over here? Did you notice what I noticed to be able to tell that someone had been there? There was a dead mimic, actually. If you go back, you can see the dead mimic to the left, and then also that dead skeleton. So since I have a feeling people have been here, I'm immediately going to want to quiet my steps. I do a lot of crouch walking. You're really hard to hear, and that way I can approach where I believe they may have went without being concerned of them hearing me. Are they Chads? They are Chads. It's all about gaining data and understanding the scenario you are in. I noticed that guy had his back turned to me and that he was obviously involved in something else. So I don't shoot him at the first chance that I get here. Instead, I want to see what's going on, and sure enough, I'm able to see that there's multiple other enemies. Because of that patience, I can now wait. I can let this scenario play out a little bit, let them fight amongst themselves before I jump in and maybe finish the last guy. I'm going to slow play this. I'm going to let them fight. Have a dark corner to play out of. Here I mentioned one of the most important concepts that I believe in, which is creating a dark corner. Because of the way the lighting works in this game, if you're in darkness, as you've probably seen, you are completely invisible as long as you don't have any potions on your belt. I personally never run any potions on my belt whatsoever. The reason is, in this game, you can access your inventory while you're still moving, so it's very easy while running away to just open your inventory and swap a potion onto your belt and use it when you need it. I find that really works for me, and that way in the heat of the moment, I don't need to worry about taking potions off or anything like that. I know that I'm good. If I just push that right now, giving up my advantage. Now, at this point, with those two additional torches off, everything behind me is pure darkness all the way through that doorway. If anyone looks over here, they're not going to see me at all with my current position. Shot him. Shot him. Yeah, we just got to kill this last guy. He's going to die to the Marauder, I think. Yeah, okay, cool. I want to point out one other huge benefit of a room like this for me as a ranger. This room has skeleton archers in it, and they're making the same sounds of a bow shooting as I do. So not only am I practically invisible, but my weapon might as well have a silencer on it at this point, because they're not going to be able to discern the difference between the skeleton archer's shots and my shots. Now that's not always going to be applicable, but when it is, it's a huge advantage. Well, that's one way. Glad I just gave it that extra second to kind of see how it was going to play out. I just got to take out the champion. Call him a Marauder, but I want to fully clear this room, one, so I can easily loot, and two, because I'm still in the middle of the circle and I have control over the room. This room also has a lot of different escape routes and a ton of torches you could turn off and create dark corners all over the place. So I like my advantage in this room. I've got the control over it as it stands. I want to clear this last mob, start looting, and prepare to get out. Now, before I touch upon the sighting of that potion, you'll notice right after this, I hear some sounds that are unusual. Constantly pay attention to the sounds. If something seems like it doesn't add up, stop what you're doing and prepare yourself for a fight. And then on top of those footsteps, this is a perfect example of why I don't run potions on my hotbar. I see this guy's health potion just barely, but enough to know that they're coming from that same way that I came from, so I can prepare myself. So if you listen closely, you can tell that there's one set of footsteps rather close to me, and then you hear the cleric buffing sounds coming from a bit further, which tells me there's at least two, and they're going to be coming through this door with buffs. Now, I don't have that much distance from that doorway, so they would certainly be able to close that gap. Now, I also know that the door directly behind me is closed because I had closed it, and so I'm going to have some interaction time needed to open it. So if I want to get through that door, I've got to run right now to create a little bit of separation. Alternatively, I could go run across the room, but I don't know what's over there. So my thought process here is, I'm not ready to fight this close and personal. I need to get through that door. Let's run. I heard the buffing and I just don't want to deal with it. I'm gonna go around. I've killed a lot of people in there and I'd like to get the loot, but I'm not gonna force it. I can't get it. Prioritize escaping and survival as your #1 priority. In an extract type game, getting out is often a win in itself. Oftentimes you'll have a pretty good gear set, and if you lose that, it's probably worth more than anything you would gain. And then just a point on repositioning, don't be afraid to go in the swarm. I remember early on as I was learning the game, I never really wanted to be out there. I thought I would die, but in reality, the damage it does do is pretty slow. There's still plenty of time left in this run for me to make my way back in. I've got rations as a ranger, I've got health potions in my inventory, so there's no reason to really get too hasty here. Take your time. If you've got the healing necessary, go out into the swarm, make a nice big circle around, and make a smart play. Alright, so here's that cleric, and in a much better position. I've got more distance, I can still fall back as well, but here I can notice beyond him a portal open. I knew that portal was there earlier, but this means that his buddy has probably opened it, and I want to see if he's going to take it. Because then that leaves me with this probably being a simple 1v1. We were able to catch the glimpse of that portal being taken, so I knew it was a 1v1, just kind of kept keeping my distance, getting some damage in because I knew I was going to switch to melee as soon as he got close. Be ready to switch to your other weapon, especially if you're like a ranger. Have that melee weapon ready to rock and roll, and don't be afraid to use it. It hits hard, especially if you've got physical power bonuses coming from your other gear.
Why would he try to like... Time is running out, boy. Gotta get out of here.
Couple quick tips on looting. Quickly hover over the gear they have equipped, looking for any rares, and then quickly also looking at the enchant to see if they're even valuable. We're looking for like plus damaged or plus all attributes typically. And then you can do the same thing with the treasure, just quickly hovering over to see if any of the treasure is better than just gray or white quality. And if you need to create space in your inventory, take a look at your 2 and 4 slot items and look for any treasure that is gray or white. Those things are going to be taking up too much space and really not be worth much at all. Drop them and take a bunch of single items. Another phenomenal way to create some space is the fact that when you put something on your utility bar, it only takes up 1 square now. So a pickaxe that's normally huge only takes up 1. So if you've got any Molotovs or maybe some surgical kits, get those on your bar and move off bandages, or if you did have any potions on there or something like that. Addition to that, go ahead and drop your torches, drop your hunting traps, anything that's easily replaceable by the vendors. Just go ahead and drop those on the floor and move other equipable items into that to make more space in your inventory.
I'm good. Oh man, that was a crazy raid. That one was kind of intense.
And that's going to do it for my very first episode of Breaking It Down. It did run a little longer than I wanted, but I wanted to be very thorough in all of the decision making, so I hope that was enjoyable. Again, if you liked it, please subscribe, comment, like. Any support, it's absolutely huge. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video soon.